Alright lads, so today we are over on BBS Simulator because in less than 12 hours time, we are going to get in our mid-month banner announcement. So as always, we're here to discuss, theorize, and speculate what we could potentially get, what are the characters going to offer, and who is going to be in the banner. You lads, as always, can join in the fun. Let me know your prediction in the comments below. And if you get any of the characters right, we'll give lads a shout out in tomorrow's video when we do react to the 2 or 3 new characters. So with that said, jumping straight into it, right, I believe this upcoming mid-month is going to be a 1,000-year Blood War banner. But why exactly is that? Well, obviously it shouldn't come as a surprise that right now is not an ordinary time in Brave Souls. We have a pretty big campaign, the 1,000-year Blood War Conflict Broadcast Celebration. With this campaign, we got a lot of really cool stuff, but also a really big banner with Byakuya, Rukia, and also Renji. It's a 50-step format, it's a big named characters, and this wouldn't have been a normal end of month banner. But alongside this banner, what we did actually get was a particular set of challenges, orders to do to get a free 5-star summon ticket. In this case, upon using a Soul Reaper or any character released in the last 9 or so months, 1,000 times, you will get a 5-star summon ticket that guarantees you a Soul Reaper character. And the greater part about this ticket, if you got lucky, is that it could actually give you a new 1,000-year Blood War character. But what you'll notice is that the challenge orders specify specifically Soul Reapers. It's not just Broadcast Celebration orders, it's Broadcast Celebration Soul Reapers. So due to that reason, especially because this ticket, the availability date to even get it ends on the 19th, right when mid-month is going to start, well that would lead one to expect a Quincy challenge. Use a Quincy character 1,000 times and then with that, you get a Quincy summon ticket. That's what it seems like and that is likely to be the case, especially because, and shout out to IC on Discord for sending me this, it does actually appear that we are getting a Quincy ticket since it was data mines. And it's thanks to this reason alone is why I'm believing we are going to be getting a 1,000-year Blood War mid-month banner, more specifically though, with Quincy's. Because if this challenge order here wants us to use Soul Reapers, and alongside that brought us 3 new Soul Reapers, if we're getting a Quincy ticket, well I would expect new Quincy characters to come alongside that. Besides that, I mean, we're kind of at the point now that if we are getting more 1,000-year Blood War banners, which of course we are getting, I mean, there's not that many Soul Reapers left to do. They've pretty much done all of them already. Like, the only characters that come to the top of my mind right now are Senjumaru, Mayuri, and also Bankai Rose. We're kind of at the point now where if we get 1,000-year Blood War, it has to include a Stammerit because there's no way they're going to do another Soul Reaper banner. Of course, this banner could end up being a premium, it could end up being a seasonal banner. I mean, usually this time it is a Halloween banner, but because this is a 1,000-year Blood War celebration, I feel like mid-month is going to be 1,000-year Blood War, and then this upcoming end of month banner is going to be a seasonal, a Halloween banner, or maybe the Vote banner that we have been waiting for. Now, one problem I have with this upcoming mid-month banner, if it is 1,000-year Blood War, is that we've been waiting quite a while for new Stamritters, and is our first set of Stamritters, a full maybe Stamritter banner, going to end up be a mid-month? Would we even want that? I'm really not too sure, but at this time, I do welcome new characters in the game, especially if they are Stamritters, and if the characters themselves are good, it's going to be a Crown Step-Up format, where you are guaranteed one of them in just 10 steps, and if they're good and exciting, then I might just do those 10 steps. But now that we've established that this banner is likely to be 1,000-year Blood War, just strictly based on the fact that we are getting a Quincy ticket, and we are currently celebrating the 1,000-year Blood War conflict campaign, who are the characters that we could potentially get? Well, one character I want to talk about, and I don't like repeating the same names every single banner prediction, and I very well might say this character again for this upcoming end of month banner, but we do know, of course, there is the status omen takeover. And this status omen seems to make sense on a character like Giselle, Pepe, or maybe a Halloween character. And since we didn't get a character with the takeover status omen for the end of month banner, instead, of course, we got Renji, Byakuya, and also Rukia. Maybe that means the status omen was made in mind for a new mid-month character. And I guess in that case, maybe there's a chance we get Giselle tomorrow. I wouldn't really want Giselle to be a mid-month, but at this point, I'm not going to complain. I've been waiting too long. At the same time, it could be a Halloween character. It could be Pepe. Like what I mentioned 2 weeks ago for our end of month prediction, it kind of applies here for this mid-month banner. We know we're getting a character with this status omen. Mid-month has a chance to be 1,000-year Blood War. Maybe it's finally time for Giselle. One thing that's making me go against the idea that it could be Giselle or Pepe is that I don't really see them making a whole new stat augment for a mid-month unit. I kind of feel like a new mechanic stat augment, for example, is something that you do for end-of-month characters. So I feel like it's not guaranteed, but there's a chance we don't see this new stat augment until this upcoming end-of-month banner. But since we are likely to get 3 or 2 Quincy characters, if you just say any Quincy name, there's a decent chance you land on one of them because there isn't that many to do. I likely think this is going to be a core 2 banner, so in that case, maybe it could be Giselle or Little Toto, maybe even Candice. Another banner prediction could be Robert, Candice, and also Nanana. I mean, these 3 Sternritters in particular did fight against Byakuya and got absolutely destroyed, but Robert in particular, I haven't spoke about him a lot, but he's actually a character I'm really looking forward to. I just like his design. He's so normal looking and in a way that makes him stand out a lot more compared to the other Sternritter, but he gets a really cool, albeit brief moment against Byakuya that would make for a really cool sword bomb. We could get some of the bigger Sternritter names like BG9. I mean, BG9 is not a big Sternritter, but paired with him could be Basby, Bambietta. I wouldn't entirely be surprised if someone like Basby and also BG9 end up being mid-month units. I guess some characters, more so Esnot, I don't really expect to be in a mid-month unit, especially considering the fact that our last Esnot was also a mid-month. I definitely think they're saving Esnot for an end-of-month banner, maybe alongside Masty Masculine and another pretty popular Sternritter, but I'm really not sure what other character that could be. So in all honesty, I'm not really sure what character to expect in particular, because I feel like it can really be anyone, but I think our list of characters here really are going to be any Sternritter in Core 2. So BG9, Basby, Bambietta, Giselle, Little Toto, Candice, Robert, Nanana. Any of those characters I feel like have a chance to be in this upcoming mid-month banner. Now, in regards to what the characters can potentially be, another reason to maybe add on the fact that this is likely to be a 1000-year Blood banner is that this upcoming mid-month, more specifically on the 21st, we're going to be getting another round of Nightmare Guild quests, and then like a week after that, we're getting another one for end of month. But very rarely do we get mid-month Nightmare Guild quests, unless it is going to be a big banner, like for example, 1000-year Blood War, maybe some Sternritter. But since we are getting very hard guild quests, the likelihood of a mid-month character being designed for that guild quest is relatively high. So we can potentially narrow down our type of character we are going to get in. So for example, right, our first Nightmare Guild quest is going to be the ranged Captain Guild quest. So the likelihood now of us getting a new ranged Captain Killer seems relatively high. And that alone might give you a reason to summon for this banner, because you'll see him, ranged Captain Guild quest doesn't have that many good characters. I mean, for the most part, you only have 1 row of usable characters here. And even then, the list is realistically like 4 characters. In terms of usable leads, everyone's go-to is definitely Aizen and also Bambietta. In terms of normal attack damage characters as support, of course, we do have Neliel, we have Okura. That's all we need. I don't think we need another normal attack damage character. If we do, it's not bad. More support, again, is never a bad thing. But I think what this guild quest needs the most is a new lead. Because again, Aizen's damage output is falling off. It's not nearly as good. No spiritual pressure boost. And then Bambietta, I mean, she was kind of designed for guild quests. She also has a good damage output. I mean, she has Frenzy 2, 80% SP boost, weakened defense with more damage to burning enemies. She also has the barrage attack as her SA2. But me personally, I just don't like her gameplay. Compared to some of the newer characters released nowadays, right, characters have an increased chance against all enemies in the guild quests, whereas Bambietta is only against speed characters, and more specifically again, is that SA2. I just don't like barrage attacks. It makes the character feel so awkward, and despite Bambietta being a good character for this particular GQ, we definitely can get better, and maybe it's time we do get a new leads. With that in mind though, we actually do know the final boss for this upcoming guild quest is going to be a heart character, so what this potentially means is that we are getting a mind range Captain Killer. So I guess, and sometimes it doesn't really make sense, attribute and killer combination, but assuming we are getting 1000-year Blood War, assuming it is going to be a Quincy character, Sternritter, ask yourself this: what Sternritter do you see being a mind ranged character? I honestly can't tell you what character. I expect Giselle to be ranged, but again, I don't think they're going to be making Giselle for mid-month and as a GQ character, especially if Giselle's going to introduce that new stat augment. I don't see the stat augment being a GQ stat augment. Whatever character is going to get takeover, I feel like they would more so be a Limit Breaker unit, and of course, if this character is going to be a ranged Captain Killer, they're definitely not going to be designed for Limit Breaker. But that's going to be our character 1, right? They're going to be an SP lead, range Captain Killer in the mind attribute. Our second character, because of course in 1 week of Guild Quest we have 2 phases, we are going to be getting a speed melee right there, Sternritter Killer. So how about that? And as you can see here, there's not really a good speed stun Ritter killer. So I doubt they want you to use Tsukishima or Gantenbane or Zamari. So the likelihood here is that we're getting a stun Ritter with stun Ritter killer, and they're going to be a melee character. I would say, though, more specifically, they are going to be a normal attack damage character. So likely a Flurry +2 in GQ unit. Because you'll see here that we have Ichigo. Ichigo is a great lead. He definitely doesn't need to be replaced anytime soon. And I honestly don't see a mid-month unit replacing Ichigo. But this character released is going to be significantly overshadowed when compared to Ichigo if they do end up being an SP unit. But more specifically in this situation that we have here, right, is that there's not really any new relevant normal attack damage units. I mean, the 3 normal attack damage characters you can use right now, Tsukishima, Yamamoto, and also Chad, their damage output is very, very low. Of course, we do have Sajin. He's more of a Brave Battle unit that has some potential usage in Guild Quest content. But the thing with Sergeant is that he only has Flurry 3, no team boost, no high bruiser. So I wouldn't really class Sergeant as the traditional normal attack damage character. And that's why I do believe this upcoming mid-month unit is going to be a melee normal attack damage character. Maybe to go alongside someone like, for example, Ichigo. As for our third character, if we even get one, because again, it's not guaranteed, right? It could be a 2-character banner, which depending on the character choices might not be a bad thing, because if you do pull on the banner, it's 50-50 instead of 33% chance to get the character you want, on step 10 more specifically. But I'm surprised it's taken us this long. We haven't had a Linksaw farmer in a very long time. How has that not happened? I mean, our last Linksaw farmer was end of month June. Swimsuit Menina. Before that, it was one mid-month unit released like a week or 2 before. And then before that, it was April end of month. So they've kind of slowed down on farm units, which is kind of crazy to think about. Of course, now Linksaw any character can realistically be used. The quest itself is easy. You know, one character, for example, that I know a lot of people have been waiting for is a good power unit, because Inheritance Trials was inherently harder. So characters like, you know, Mishiro and Yumachika were insufferable using them in Inheritance Trials, but now that Linksaw Trials is significantly easier, using Yumachika as your go-to farmer honestly isn't even that bad. It's more bearable when compared to Inheritance Trials. So I don't think we're in like a desperate rush now to get like a new power farmer. But if we were to get a farmer in this banner, I would expect them to be a power unit, because it's been since January. It's been 9 months since we've had a new power farmer. And whether their damage output is going to be good or bad, whether their strong attacks are good really doesn't matter. As long as they can offer +5 Linksaw potions, +10 super Linksaw potions, and 30% more droplets, it would be the farmer that this attribute does need. I mean, again, in general, any farmer would be great now at this point, because it has been quite some time. I mean, technically, our last farming unit was Jushiro, but we don't even count him because he's a crystal jewel farmer with coins. You don't count them. When you say farmer, you're thinking of Linksaw potions, droplets, and super Linksaw potions, not crystals and coins. So the main takeaway from this prediction video is that I think the likelihood of this banner being 1000G Blood Wars seems relatively high, and with that, it's going to be new Quincy characters. I'm not sure on what particular Stam Ritter we will get, but I'm definitely expecting 2 to 3 new Stam Ritters. And in terms of what they are going to offer, I'm expecting a Mind SP ranged Captain Killer. The second character I'm expecting to be a Speed Stam Ritter Killer, more so a normal attack damage unit. And in the third character, I'm expecting to be a Linksaw, Super Linksaw Farmer, hopefully for the power attribute. That's my prediction for today. In the comments below, let me know your prediction. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.